Okay, we're in business.
Okay, we're in business. Look, I can't remember if I got to meet you by Zoom last month or not.
Yeah, it was Zoom. Yes,
Okay.
same way.
All right, I'm Scott Chase, and I think I was explaining to you that I'm actually your neighbor. I did meet your mother-in-law at the site visit today. I
Great, yeah.
left my name and address and telephone numbers because sometimes you just need a neighbor, to do
Gotcha.
something.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
So I had announced previously because we were having technical difficulties getting the meeting started on Zoom. So I guess I'll start over again. This is the September meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Town of Pine Plains. As far as applicants tonight, we really only have one. We have the Ludwig Stajunik, the side yard variance for the construction of a garage at 2100 Route 83. And the lot is approximately somewhere between 205 and 215 feet wide. There is an existing house kind of in the center. They were looking to add approximately, and we're going to limit it at 30 by 30 foot garage. And because the lot is only that width and the house is presently in the middle, when you put the house along the same plane, you don't have quite enough room. And in that district, the side yard requirement is 50 feet. And they were looking to reduce that down to 23 feet. And if I got any of that wrong, please correct me. And we did do a site visit today, which we can talk about later, but the first thing I wanted to do was actually open. We have done a duly advertised public hearing, and we're looking for any public comment. And so that's the purpose. And so if we just need your name and your address.
Sure, it's Charles Wessler, and I'm at 2115, right next door, 83, Route 83. And I guess I'm your neighbor too.
I live on Carpenter Hill.
Okay, great.
Yep. When you drive down, I'm the fourth house on the left. It's a yellow Greek Revival with the eyebrow windows.
It's a great neighborhood. You want me to comment or?
Well, yeah.
Have comments?
Oh, yeah. I'm building a house there now, and I've been doing it for like a year. And I'll be done in like 3 weeks. I'm pretty excited. It's great. It's really so beautiful. And I guess my only comment was, there already is and I'm curious about it. There's a shed that's about 10 feet from my border. You guys already have maps and all that, right?
Yeah.
And so it's really, it has nothing to do with this gentleman. He didn't have nothing to do with it. But they put I guess the driveway comes about probably 10, 12 feet down next to my land, I guess. And so my concern is that I do want to I'm pretty sure I'd like to take away 5 acres on that side of the property, which I forget the words, but it's his. And I want to I'd like to object to this because the person who is interested in buying my house may say, I don't want to have that garage 22 feet from or whatever it is, 25 feet from my property. Not personal, I'm at all. We don't know each other. But that's it. It's a little close given. Right now, it doesn't pose a problem, but I'm worried about when I do go to sell it, which is something I want to do because I'm getting older. I want to, that's why I bought the 20 acres, was to be able to have something to do. That's it. I don't really have any ideas. I mean, just it's close. And the house is close too. It's not. It's like about 48, 50 feet from the property.
Yeah,
About a kind suggestion to you, to the owner,
Okay.
are you gonna put a guest house in the garage too?
A guest house on the garage? No. There's gonna be some, we're contemplating a kid's, playroom on in the attic of the house. Not gonna have a bathroom or plumbing or anything like that.
Cool, okay, just curious. But that's my only thought, was my future, and that's it, other than that, I don't know how it works. But,
And so you're afraid that if someone can see that garage, that they're gonna find the property that you are contemplating selling in the future as less desirable?
oh, I mean, it won't be the 50-foot setback, and the house is rather close to that land. Which is nobody's fault, it's a beautiful house. I'm just saying, so from a buyer's point of view, it's all very close to what will be their property. So like, yes, right now I'm in the middle of property, so it really has no bearing on my life.
Mhm.
But it could.
How far away is your house from that property line?
Oh gosh, it's
His house is in the middle of his property. You have how many acres?
20,
Okay.
yeah, 19.5 or something like that. So it's not, like I said, it's not a problem right now, I do worry, that's it.
In that area,
Oh, it's
zone
crazy.
agriculture, 5 acres. Lots out there.
It's a, 5 acre density. You don't have to have a 5 acre lot, but overall density is supposed to be at 5 acres. Average density, I guess.
Oh, I thought, and in planning, I put aside 5 acres.
Mhm. Well, if you have 20, you could actually make the argument that you could at least have
He placed that
three
house.
houses on your 20 acres.
Yeah,
Right,
And
but
you-
he
if-
planned it.
Yeah,
He planned his house where he placed it in
Yeah.
that 20 acres.
yeah,
So he'd have a strip
Yeah.
of that.
yeah. All right, well, let's, we have nobody else online, right? There's nobody else in the audience, so we had our
Thing in writing?
We had our one comment.
Okay.
And we had nothing in writing. So I think that we can procedurally say that we've held the public hearing, received the comments, and we could close the public hearing. And so is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
Okay, is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor, we'll say aye to close the public hearing. Aye, sorry, so the public hearing is closed. And so now it comes down to the Luke, the board has a comment from the neighbor and a concern, and are there any, I don't know, comments by the rest of the board, or are there things that, so you're concerned about at this point, a visual intrusion? If they couldn't see the garage or the house, would that be a better circumstance?
from wherever those potential buyers have a house. I don't know, because I'm not them. I don't, it could go, they could say, I don't care, or they could say, I really care. That's why I hate it. I don't like it, but I'm just thinking about the future. I wish I could give you an answer. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, respectfully, I understand your position, but also, my opinion is our role is to look at it as it is now, rather than what could potentially happen. I mean, I know we just don't know. You might never sell it. You might decide not
Oh,
to.
I plan on selling it.
Anything could happen.
Anything, yeah.
So we don't really, I don't know. It's hard to say that we should, not that we can't take it into consideration, but it's hard to say that. In my mind, it doesn't weigh as heavy because it's something that's potential in the future. That's a hypothetical at this point.
Yeah, it would be very different if looking out your side window, you were looking at the garage instead of a vista of trees.
Mhm.
So, but that's not the case.
No, I don't see it sounds that you know, try my out.
What if there was a long that section of the property line, there were some evergreens that were planted.
That happened at the bottom of Johnny Cake Hollow Road. Now they're huge. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I think if you were to put, a row of 6 evergreens behind that place, they'll be in 4 years, they'll be huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like it would be a reasonable solution and not expensive for the applicant. Would preserve the, maybe give a little more privacy to both properties in a way.
Wow, I put them right on the line of my property.
Mhm.
With that.
Luca, does that seem like a reasonable solution?
Yes, it does. Yeah. That's doable. I mean, just so we're clear, I don't want to see another house either. So it's definitely, would be preferred, path to have, some shrubbery that protects my view as well. So, yes,
Yeah.
it's definitely, acceptable to me.
So then it will become incumbent upon the board to try to describe how that would work, but I would say that if the garage is, and we're limiting you to 30 by 30, because that's what you put in your application. So if we said that shrubbery ran for 50 feet along that line, along that, so 10 feet further than the garage goes and 10 feet before the garage goes. Does that seem reasonable to everybody?
Yeah.
All right. Try to describe that as we. It sounds like that. And people could say what they saw without knowing about the neighbor's objection. I did not, and recognizing that this lot was created before zoning. And the house is right in the middle, so if you put a garage off to the side, you're kind of forced into the we wouldn't want a garage out in the front yard, and I think to go down in the backyard would destroy the view from the house, destroy the value of the house. So I'm kind of in agreement with the location that you've chosen. And it comes down to, again, trying to listen to any objections and figure out how to do it. And sounds like that we have an outline. We often go through the step where I'll do my best after having talked with the members, after they reviewed the plans and done the site inspection. I go through the exercise of, we do sort of group writing here as best we can and make a little outline. And so I'm gonna just sort of start, and we'll kind of work our way through it and include some of the stuff that we have to do in terms of descriptions. And so let me just start that. And it says, whereas the town of Pine Plains Zoning Board of Appeals is in receipt of the area variance application from Luca DeJunic, for property located at the address of 2100 County Route 83, Town of Pine Plains, Dutchess County, with the tax grid number, blah, 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 to allow the construction of a garage no larger than 30 by 30 feet, with the side yard reduced to no less than, and Luca, you would put 23 feet, because I don't know, sometimes the actual construction guy might get it off by a few inches, so I changed it to 22 feet, just to give you another foot of leeway in case you needed it. On the north side, adjacent to tax parcel, and it should be this gentleman's tax parcel. I got it off the tax map. Please check and make sure I got it correct. Whereas the zoning board of appeals has reviewed the subject variance request. And is it number 3? I don't know what it is. It's actually number 5. Okay.
It's busy.
5-2023, but she'll check that. Submitted by Mr. DeJunic. And whereas after review of the application, including a review of the habitat map, which I looked at last week, a site inspection and a legally noticed public hearing on, that would be this date. And whereas the action is a type 2 action under seeker, because residential's area variances, that's the classification under the Environmental Review Act, is not considered to have a significant impact on the environment, no further environmental review is required. And whereas the existing lot was created prior to zoning and is narrow for this rural district at approximately, and when I looked at the survey map, it looked like it said 215, so that's what I put in. And whereas the board finds that maintaining the minimum 50-foot side yard would create a hardship by requiring construction to occur in a manner that disturbs the layout of this pre-existing home site. And whereas the variance request is not substantial, will leave at least 22 feet to the neighboring property. And whereas the lot was previously existing prior to zoning, and the decreased side yard setback will not adversely affect the character of, nor be a detriment to the neighborhood. Whereas the granting of the variance will not have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood, as the proposed building will only be slightly visible from County Route 83. I think maybe when leaves are off the trees, just at the opening of the driveway, you might catch a glimpse of it. And barely visible, if at all, from the adjoining neighbor's home. And I think he's even said from his house, it's not visible at all. Let's see, if at all, adjoining neighbor's home by the reduced setback. And then we have to put, whereas the neighbor has expressed concerns with the proposed building being a minimum 22 feet from their property line. We then have to say that we would have to, we would resolve that it sounded like that we're approving, but with conditions. And that the condition would be that, what I do with my pen? So this is where we're really doing group writing. This is harder than what we normally have to do. So now, therefore, be it resolved that based upon the preceding findings, the Zoning Board of Appeals hereby grants the application for a variance to the Vulcan area regulations, allowing the proposed garage no larger than 30 by 30 feet to be installed with a side yard setback of no less than 22 feet from the northerly property line, with the following conditions. I would say 50 feet of evergreen . You can help me here. I would say that probably white pine or red cedar would do well in there.
Yeah, red cedar would probably be the best, I think.
I mean, do we want to get that specific?
Maybe,
though?
well, we should put,
Yeah, evergreen.
we should-
Such as, but
Such
not
as.
limited to.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think we need
Yeah.
to tell them what kind of species of tree they need.
all right, such as of evergreen vegetation. Such as red cedar or white pine. No, such as, but not limited to. Red cedar, white pine.
Yeah,
I
we've
think
got
the
a
neighbor's
question.
got a question.
There's two questions. One was how high can the structure be? Is there a limit or just about?
Yeah, I think that garage is limited to 25 feet. I wish Drew was here.
And
Is it in that-
Luca, can you hear me? Luca, this is Charlie speaking.
Yes, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. You have what do you call
A
it? A
shed?
wooden shed. It's
Shed.
right about 10
Yeah,
feet
yeah.
from. Is that where you're gonna put the garage? Right
No.
there?
Down.
No.
Well,
That shed,
Here you go. Right next to the house. Here you go.
With the shed out shown on there.
Wait, missed this.
Yeah, you shed the shed.
Oh, wait, here, the shed's here.
Yeah, yeah.
the
Okay,
shed
I got
will
it.
go away.
Shed will go away.
Oh,
Yeah,
great, that's,
yeah.
that's terrific.
Don't need the shed anymore.
Corn.
I mean, I don't, there's, well, I really don't. It's just when we sell it. You should leave the shed there and what, if I sell it, then I'll ask you to still move it or something, but it's not,
Okay.
no reason to move it now.
Okay.
Just gonna see if I could find the regs for the garage.
Oh, if it's 25 feet, that doesn't.
Yeah, it's like
There's
roughly 2 stories
2 story to the top of the peak.
to the peak,
Yeah.
right? to the
Yeah.
peak, Right,
And then
yeah.
we measure it below the. peak.
Exactly.
a
Correct.
house different to the peak. Or-
Well, it's the roof line and then they,
Well,
where they
secondary.
measure the,
Right.
yeah,
It's all about secondary structures, right?
Yeah,
Are limited.
yeah, it can't be that, it's not that tall.
yeah. It's gotta be it's gotta be shorter than the house, I would imagine. yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
An extra floor.
Well,
He had it low floor, he had 3 levels on
it was because of the slope,
location.
yeah, the slope of the property. But yes, you're right. They did have a variance for the height of the building on that one.
You wanna-
All right, it's a no accessory structure shall exceed 21 feet in height.
21.
I'm just looking at it last week. Let's just into this.
All right.
Mm.
So with the approval with the following condition, 50 feet of evergreen vegetation along the northerly,
Was it trees? Or is it the same thing?
It doesn't matter to me.
of at least, 50 feet of evergreen vegetation, at least 6 feet tall to start.
4 is cheaper.
Yeah,
4.
It's four.
4, all right.
It's less expensive, and I think they'll grow quickly.
yeah.
Yeah, they will. There's not a lot of deer. Around here.
Along the northerly property line.
They get hungry enough, they'll eat anything.
There's not a lot of
I'm putting some forfeiters in next week.
Yeah,
I gotta be careful.
yeah.
Shall be placed to visually
The deer,
screen
the pears before that, they have a pear tree, that's a
the
circle.
new garage. All right. Let me see if I can see if this still makes sense here. Again, it's always tough to do this group writing on the spot. So now therefore be it resolved that based upon the preceding findings, the zoning board of appeals of the town of Pine Plains hereby grants the application for a variance to the requirements found in the Schedule Bulk Regulations Table B, allowing the proposed garage no larger than 30 by 30 feet to be installed with a side yard setback of no less than 22 feet from the north property line, with the following conditions. Let's see. 50 feet of evergreen vegetation, at least 4 feet tall. I'm gonna leave out the species. Shall be planted along the northerly property line to provide a visual screen of the new garage from the neighbor's property. And does that seem to,
You want to make a note that the applicant has agreed to this? Does that mean like any?
all right, and I did have a note that the applicant, or that the neighbor had expressed concerns, that the applicant has agreed.
Right, yeah. Just thinking maybe.
No, we don't have to get him to agree, we can,
Okay, of course, it's.
if he doesn't want, no, if he doesn't want to accept the approval, yeah, he can disagree and not build. All right, and so I'm gonna say. And then there was the part where the neighbor had expressed concerns. I think it's here. Are people comfortable enough? You want me to?
I think it's
I
good.
think it's.
Okay. So that being the resolution, do we have someone to make a motion to the approval with the conditions as suggested? All right, Carl's made that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor will say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? I hear none. So we'll get a, this is my handwritten version. We'll get it and get it to you. And so
Awesome.
I think you're pretty well set. You can head off to the building inspector and start your detailed plans. And we'll
Awesome.
get
I
together as
appreciate it.
neighbors. And we'll get together as neighbors
Yeah,
here.
I guess.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a tree planting party.
Yeah.
4 footers.
Right.
By the way, that was mine.
It was,
From 6 to 4.
Yeah.
I know, them. I just ordered them and they're way cheaper.
The only benefit of the 6 is that they're a bigger species, so they're more hardy
Oh,
and less
That's a-
likely to fail. No, I'm saying.
well, yeah, well, it's up to you, Luca, if you wanna go for 6.
Yeah.
Gentleman saying it's healthier.
It's stronger.
Gotcha.
That's good.
Make sure you
All right,
wrap
so we
your-
did the
your
minutes,
pine
right?
trees
Did it.
before
Oh, we didn't do the
winter
minutes
gets here.
yet.
Talked about it, but
Put
All
a
right.
barrier around your pine trees, deer netting around your pine trees before the deer get to them this winter.
I need to wrap them. Well,
Yeah,
the guy that
if you got pine trees,
hiring,
yeah.
I'm gonna have him-
Have him do it, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't think about it now. No, right?
If we get a really bad winter and there's nothing to eat, they will eat it till there's just a
right. And
Charlie Brown tree sitting there.
yeah, your site was a favorite wintering ground. I mean, they would actually herd right in there.
I had a customer,
More llamas. And I put in 10 new trees about 8 feet and they decimated them. Yeah, I was paying attention.
they were.
I was what a nightmare. Yeah.
All right, our only other item on the agenda this evening is the approval of the minutes of the last meeting. Is there someone willing to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
All right, Carl, and is there a second?
second.
Okay, any further discussion? If not, all in favor will say aye. Aye. Any opposed? I hear none. I think that's all of our business for this evening, and so motion to adjourn,
So moved.
and a second.